We just got a brand new look at the first Armored Core game in about a decade. The highly anticipated Armored Core 6, The Fires of Rubicon. But that's not all. IGN also got a chance to get a sneak peek at the trailer in advance, along with some added insight from the developers at FromSoftware themselves to break down some of the finer elements of the trailer. So, with that said, let's rewind and take a closer look at the first gameplay trailer for Armored Core 6. The trailer opens up on a shot orbiting the planet Rubicon, the setting of Armored Core 6's story. The trailer doesn't explain much about what's happening here, but FromSoftware was kind enough to fill me in on some backstory and context. Armored Core 6 takes place in a universe where space travel has become commonplace, and extraterrestrial corporations and resistance groups are fighting over control of a rare substance known as coral.
Activating cerebral coral control device.
Which, as it happens, is only found on the planet Rubicon. Coral is a mysterious substance that is not only extremely valuable, but also very versatile, as it can be used in fuel, materials, and even medicine, hence, the struggle and fighting over it. You play as a mercenary who finds himself on Rubicon in the midst of this struggle for coral, working under the infamous handler, Walter.
One of the infamous handler Walter's hounds.
Rubicon itself is a mining planet that was hit by a cosmic catastrophe that scorched the planet, which we can actually see back in the first reveal trailer for AC6. So, this is a post-apocalyptic planet, and our story picks up several decades after the catastrophe. There are several different locations that were shown here to give us an idea of the kind of spread of maps that we're going to be seeing in the various missions of Armored Core 6. We've got this one that shows the giant man-made shells that enclose parts of the planet Rubicon. There's a humongous military base that is several kilometers across and carved within the ice, and an underground facility hidden deep within the surface of the planet that eventually expands outward into an underground dungeon. With regards to the map design, I was told that the developers prioritized, quote, tempo changes through movement and an abundance of situations. While Armored Core and the Soul series are obviously very different genres, the developers told me that they're looking to apply their map design expertise honed during the development of the Soul series. Now let's jump ahead again to some of the combat, and you'll note that, it's pretty fast-paced. But it's also got a tactical base as well thanks to the sheer amount of customization options that you have with regards to your mech. You can dramatically change your fighting style based on your choices of what to outfit your mech with. Like here, we see that changing out the mech's legs to a quadruped allows it to hover and rain down fire from above. Contrast that to this bit, where the mech has tank-like treads and is able to bulldoze and power slide through enemies. And then of course you have the traditional bipedal loadout with lots of bursty movement that lets you dart in and out of both long and close range. FromSoft described the combat system as being highly dynamic, and one that rewards careful but aggressive play. There's a stagger system at play too that forces the enemy into a system's down state when the player is able to continuously hit them with consecutive strikes. That said, the player is also bound by these same rules, which leads to this really tense push and pull where the player must consider when to get up close and be aggressive and when to back off to avoid getting staggered. Fortunately, transitioning between ranged and close combat is seamless, allowing players to employ both options freely. And finally, the trailer wraps up with a look at some of the bosses you'll face off against. One of the core pillars of design in Armored Core 6 is for it to be a game that gives players, quote, the satisfaction of overcoming challenging situations and earning hard-won victories. Boss battles will be a key feature, and they are designed to be battles that players will be expected to attempt multiple times, learning and adapting to the boss's unique attack patterns with every attempt. And that is our breakdown of the Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon trailer, with some much needed help and context provided by FromSoftware themselves. For more Armored Core 6 coverage, make sure to check out our interview with producer Yasunori Ogura, where we go into a little more detail about the story, combat, and what it's been like for FromSoftware to return to such a foundational mecha franchise. And for everything else, keep it here on IGN.
Let's see how far they can fly. On borrowed wings.